What's up, guys? It's Dustin back with a video. And as many of you know, yesterday we laid to rest Ozzy. Ozzy Osbourne was buried at his home in Birmingham yesterday in a small ceremony. This, of course, following Wednesday's procession through the city of Birmingham that we all watched. We all saw Sharon for the first time, and the kids as they placed flowers at the Black Sabbath Bridge in Birmingham. Really a emotional start to the day. But I, like many of you, have been listening to Sabbath, listening to Ozzy ever since news of his death broke last week. Pretty much, definitely every day. Just been diving into the albums again. And Ozzy had so many great records and so many great songs across such a long career, whether it was with Sabbath or whether it was as a solo artist. So I wanted to I picked 6 albums that I think are essential Ozzy listening. Maybe you're a casual fan and you only know like the hit songs or, the songs that are on the radio. Maybe these are albums you haven't listened to in a long time. So either way, hopefully this either allows you to discover something new or revisit something that you already love. So let's jump in. These are 6 albums that I think are essential Ozzy. And you can't talk about Ozzy without talking about this. All right. This is the album that started everything. This is the debut album from Black Sabbath. I was not around when this was initially released, but I could only imagine getting this and seeing that. Can you see? You know what this cover is. Look at her. Such a sinister looking cover. And then that opening, that rain with the thunder, and then that riff. It's so fucking dark and evil and crushing and awesome. And it is absolute perfection as the opener, the introduction to this album, the introduction to this band. This is a phenomenal record from start to finish. And this has, obviously this song that we were just talking about, Black Sabbath, NIB, The Wizard, songs that stayed with Sabbath and with Ozzy through their entire career. And this is where it all started. Own This, CD, vinyl, cassette, streaming, whatever. When it comes to essential, it doesn't get any more essential than this right here, the debut album from Black Sabbath. All right, up next, we have another debut, the debut album from Ozzy as a solo artist, and that would be The Blizzard of Oz. This is the first record after Ozzy's split with Black Sabbath. This is the first record to feature Randy Rhoads on guitar. And I mean, just check out this track list. I Don't Know, Crazy Train, Goodbye to Romance, Suicide Solution, Mr. Crowley, all these songs. That's not all the songs, but this album is loaded. And this is I guess some sort of remaster. I'm not sure. I know Ozzy's catalog has been remastered quite a few times, but this is the one that has all the Ozzy's inside, and it has bonus tracks on it. And there's a B-side on here called You Looking at Me, Looking at You, which is really cool. So if you see this version or if you see that song online, check it out. The Blizzard of Oz, absolute classic album. All right. Moving along to number 3, we have Black Sabbath with the follow-up to their self-titled and the phenomenal Paranoid. Again, this album loaded. Wasn't there? Can't remember. This is like a deluxe version. It's got some bonus stuff on it, some instrumental versions and alternate takes of songs from the album. But War Pigs, this album opens with War Pigs, one of Sabbath's most instantly recognizable songs. This also features Paranoid, one of their biggest hits. It also features Planet Caravan, which is one of my favorite songs of all time from anybody. A fantastic cover from Pantera on their Far Beyond Driven record. And it's been done by a lot of people. It's just absolutely just an amazing song. Every time I listen to it, I wish it was like 20 minutes long. I just wanted to keep going. This album has Iron Man. This album has Electric Funeral. This album has Hand of Doom, which we saw Tool cover fantastically at the Back to the Beginning show. But absolutely stellar album. Paranoid. You can't go wrong. You can't go wrong with any Ozzy, any Sabbath. You're not gonna find a bad album. These are just albums that I think are the, you know, the milestones and the essential stuff. Up next, Diary of a Madman. This is the second solo album from Ozzy, the second and unfortunately final album featuring Randy Rhoads. The killer title track, Over the Mountain, Flying High Again. This album fucking rules. Look at the cover. Look at Ozzy on the back. Dude was a madman. Absolutely loved him. This is a great one. Diary of a Madman. All right. Up next. Wow, I totally went in order with these, but I didn't even realize this until just right now. But, and again, you can pick any Sabbath albums, not just the ones that I'm talking about here, but Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath, Technical Ecstasy, Sabotage, the fucking phenomenal Volume 4 that has Snowblind and Changes. There's just so much great stuff, but I only picked 6 for this list, and my last pick from Sabbath is their third album, Master of Reality. Opens with Sweet Leaf, ends with Into the Void, Children of the Grave, After Forever. I mean, this is just, and that cover, so simple, yet it's become so iconic over the years. How many things have you seen written in that font, whether it's band merch or even fucking album covers? I think Electric Wizard did an album like this, and so many. That's because Sabbath is so fucking influential, and this album is so good and so heavy and so awesome. And that's why I'm recommending it as essential Ozzy listening. So that only leaves one left, and it's an Ozzy solo record, and it just so happens to be my favorite Ozzy solo record, and I'm talking about 1991's No More Tears. This album is loaded. Mr. Tinkertrain is such a fantastic opening with like the toys and the music box sounding intro, and then just such a kick-ass song. I Don't Want to Change the World. Mama, I'm Coming Home, one of Ozzy's biggest hits as a solo artist. Desire, the title track to this, No More Tears. Let me tell you something. Last time I saw Ozzy was in 2018. It was at Jiffy Lube Live in Manassas. I know they don't actually call it that, but it's DC, Manassas, depending on who you talk to. Jiffy Lube Live, Northern Virginia, DC area. And it was on the No More Tours 2 tour. And it was such a fucking phenomenal show. But the performance of of No More Tears at that show was so fucking crushing and so heavy. And the crowd was into it. And it was just absolutely awesome. This album is fucking great. It has Hellraiser, which also appeared on Motorhead's March or Die album, which came out right around the same time. Song written by Lemmy. Mama, I'm Coming Home was actually written by Lemmy. This album rules. The companion album that came with this, Live and Loud, which came right after it. Ozzy had some great live albums, man. Live and Loud was fantastic. That was from this tour, for the No More Tears tour. The tribute CD with Randy Rhoads that focused on like the first 2 albums with Randy. Speak of the Devil with Brad Gillis from Night Ranger, and the list just goes on, man. Ozzy's solo discography, it keeps going, man. The Ultimate Sin, Killer, you get Shot in the Dark, and the title track, and Um, No Rest for the Wicked. I mean, Osmosis had Perry Mason. That song is so fucking crushing. He could go on. Point is, man was an icon. Man was loved by so many and an influence on so many. And you can't go wrong with any of his discography. But the ones I just showed you, I'll run through them again real quick in reverse order. No More Tears, Black Sabbath, Master of Reality, Sweet Leaf, the best dope smoking song ever. Dope. Diary of a Madman, Paranoid, Blizzard of Oz, and of course, the debut from the one and only Black Sabbath. That's what I got for today. Let me know what your favorite Ozzy albums are, what your favorite Black Sabbath albums are. Ozzy, rest in peace. We love you. You're the greatest. Have a great day.